Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see it. Par for the course. Can you guys hear me now? Can you hear me now? Going once, going twice. I think you guys can hear me now. There we go. What I was just about to say, today's been a crazy day. It's been a wild one. And what better way to start without the mic on? Shout out all the SDS. I appreciate the whole squad vibing out, all that good stuff. And again, I just want to let you know that now you can all hear me. I've got a little mini co-host off to the side. Mini co-host is sleeping right now. So this will probably be a shorter episode today. But it felt wrong not doing Prediction Friday before the playoff game. It just didn't feel right. And I just, I'm not superstitious. I'm a little stitious. So I just felt like we had to keep it rolling. I didn't want to mess up with the vibes that we have going, because we have a pretty good record when we're doing Prediction Friday shows. So I wanted to make sure that we got on today. Again, the timing's off, all that type of stuff. But got my little coat. He's in his little swing. He's swinging, sleeping. I had to time it perfectly to try to get on here when he was sleeping the most. So, but we are back and we are ready to rock, and we're going to get this thing rolling. We have our first super chat of the day. Thank you so much. Evil Liddy says, we're underdogs to the public eye. That's crazy. Oh yeah, we are underdogs heading into this game. And it's funny because you have the narrative on both sides. If you talk to Micah Parsons, he'll tell you the Cowboys are the underdogs, but not according to the national media. We have our first pick'em. I think it was, who was it? It was Greeny. It was Ryan Clark. I could pull it up. I'll just pull it up. But yeah, I do think that the 49ers are the underdogs. I know the Cowboys are really trying to play that card, but I do think it is the 49ers. I mean, you tell me otherwise, but I think it's the San Francisco 49ers that are the underdog. These were the picks from earlier today. So we got our first picks in, and as you can see, 3 out of 4 picked the Dallas Cowboys to win at the San Francisco 49ers. Tim Hasselback, Ryan Clark, and Greeny on ESPN Get Up, they picked the Dallas Cowboys to win. Rob Ninkovich, throwback Patriots linebacker, picked the 49ers to win. So I believe it's the 49ers that are the underdogs. I mean, it's the San Francisco 49ers that have a third string quarterback. That's like, how can you play how can you play the underdog card as the Cowboys when you're going up against a third string rookie quarterback? Like, to me, it doesn't compute, especially considering that the Dallas Cowboys are a talented team. They have some they're a talented team. They got a lot of talent on both sides of the football. So for Micah Parsons to be saying, "Oh, I like being the underdog," like, what are you talking about? I don't think you guys are the underdog. But whatever floats your boat. Um, San Francisco 49ers clearly are getting picked early to lose, but we'll see how that all goes down. Um, Dallas Cowboys beat the Bucks. They good. 49ers beat the Bucks. We not good. Yeah, pretty much. That pretty much sums it up. Everyone saw it's because too is a primetime matchup. Everyone was watching that game. And so Dak was playing really well. And so that's what everyone remembers, but they don't remember when Brock Purdy uh, took the Bucks and put them in the wood chipper. But regardless of this, I thought this was the wildest thing that I saw. Um, this is, I think, actually carries some weight to it. And if you aren't familiar with this graphic, I found this graphic floating around Twitter. But the graphic reads liability is a factor too. The 49ers are the one team we do not want to win the Super Bowl. And this is from Caesar's assistant director of trading, Adam Pullen, and this is from the Action Network. This is interesting because, as we know, money rules the world. And, we talk about football and the competition of football, but I think the NFL is there's definitely an entertainment element to it. And, whether you want to say this or that about the game, um, this is an interesting quote from someone who's directly involved from Las Vegas and the sportsbook sector, uh, openly stating that they don't want the San Francisco 49ers to win because it would be a liability if they win. And I've seen some other things come across that, because as we know, when Trey Lance was the quarterback and the odds were, I don't know if you guys remember, but a lot of early money for the 49ers to win the Super Bowl. There's a lot. They were one of the, I think because of the way the odds were and just a ton of money came flooding in on the 49ers to make the Super Bowl and win it. Well, if the 49ers win the Super Bowl, guess who's going to be out of a lot of money? And so I think that's why they're saying they don't want the 49ers to win the Super Bowl because if so facto, 49ers win, Vegas loses, and Vegas doesn't like to lose. So interesting. Interesting. I got my eyes on those refs this week. Um, hey, the 49ers didn't get a whole lot of calls against Seattle, remember? Remember that? Remember the leg pull play? That didn't get called. There was a face mask on that same drive, didn't get called. So we're going to have our eye out. But I think that's kind of good to know. I think going into the game, like I'm going to think of it like this. And this is always my thing. Like, I don't care about the refs. The refs are going to make bad calls. They're going to make calls that screw you. And it's just the way it goes. But if you do your job as a team and you execute and you play your game, there's nothing that the refs can do if you don't put it into their hands. So that's my thing is that the 49ers come out, play their brand of football, and they execute at a high level. Yeah, the refs might try to swing momentum and do certain things, but if you just stay on your P's and Q's and you just keep executing through any of these bad calls that you may or may not get, ultimately what can they do if you're just performing at a completely different level over the other team. And so that's my rallying cry. That's why I'm glad that we saw this quote. And I can guarantee you 49ers players saw this quote. I mean, you can see right here, you can see who this is, who, the first one of the first names that popped up. And I guarantee you the whole team is going to see this quote. And I think that will help like realign the mindset. It's like, okay, we know already going into this game, the refs are probably going to be against us. The NFL's probably going to be against us. So lock in now. No, we're not going to worry about the calls. We're not going to worry about, oh, they missed this, they missed that. We're going to go do our part, and we're going to execute, and we're going to play our game. And that's it. They can do whatever they want. We're not going to be fazed by it. We're prepared for it. Keep moving. So I'm glad this quote came out now, because, hey, entertainment business, baby. They're in the business of entertaining, and they want to this is going to be the probably one of the highest rated playoff games in some time, and especially with a lot of the talk going into it. The talk going into this game has been crazy, whether it's players, whether it's radio hosts, whether it's fans going back and forth. The rivalry's back, guys. This Cowboys San Francisco 49ers rivalry is right where it left off back in its heyday. It's I feel it. Like I don't like the Seattle Seahawks, and that was very apparent when I was at Levi Stadium last weekend. But I feel like the energy going into this game is going to be on par, or if not more hostile. So I'm really looking forward to the fans showing up at Levi's, and I'm really looking forward to the fans getting loud. I think they have an opportunity to really impact this game. So, I mean, if any of you guys are going to the stadium to watch this game, you know what to do. Get loud, get angry, and make it, because that was the difference maker in the Seattle game. Is the entire stadium got pissed off, and that was the difference maker. So if we go into this game pissed off from the jump, and we're loud every series, every defensive series, we are loud. We got to make the Cowboys feel us this game. This is personal. You know what I'm saying? Like this isn't just another game. Like, this is personal. Like, we want this as fans, right? So we got to go in prepared, ready for a fight. Yes, I will be going to the game. I haven't officially purchased my tickets yet, but I will be going to the game. I'm gonna get in there somehow, whether it's selling a kidney or something. I'm gonna get in there. I can't not get in there. So I'll be at the game. But again, like I said, I haven't officially purchased the tickets yet, but I will be there, and it's gonna be hard to miss that one. That game's gonna be crazy. Yeah, I saw the StubHub spread was 75%, around 75%. 49ers fans to 25% Cowboys fans. I appreciate the $4 donation. It is definitely going to the cause of getting me into this game. So anytime you guys watch my video, anytime you hit the like button, anytime you send super chats, yeah, you are definitely helping me out to get to this game because it is expensive. It's expensive. Oh God, it's expensive. Let's talk about some updates, and then we'll get into the prediction portion of the show. Smash the like button if you haven't already. Great news for the San Francisco 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo and Ambry Thomas will be out, but everyone else will be good to go. Hey, shout out Lil Heater. Looking forward to seeing clips live from the game. You guys already know. You already know I'll be posting all that content live. So thank you for the $10 donation. That too is going towards my ticket purchase. shout out, Lil Heater. So appreciate that. But in regards to the updates, Jimmy, Ambry Thomas, they're out. Other than that, everyone's good to go. Everyone. Jawan Jennings showed up limited. I think you had Javon Kinlaw show up limited. You had a couple other players limited this week. Today, as of today, not one person is questionable. Everyone's good to go. The San Francisco 49ers are as healthy as can be. Right now at this stage, considering all the circumstances, they are as healthy as can be. So this is great. This is great for the San Francisco 49ers. Also, too, I don't know if you heard Kyle Shanahan was talking about Jimmy Garoppolo today. And also Jimmy Garoppolo back on the side field. So Jimmy Garoppolo is back working through his rehab. Shanahan said he would be surprised if Garoppolo was available for the NFC Championship game, which would be next week. But there's definitely a good shot that Garoppolo, all things considered, would be available to go for the Super Bowl if that's where the 49ers go. So that's good news. That is good news. Especially going this deep. For sure. So positive news for the San Francisco 49ers in regards to injuries. You did get some injury updates from the Cowboys as well. Offensive lineman Jason Peters is going to be out. He is one of their offensive linemen, and he will not be playing. I believe it is their rookie, Tyler Smith, who will be playing left tackle for them. Jaron Curse was questionable, but I do believe he will play today. Oh, his eyes are open. His eyes are open. Go to sleep, little boy. Go to sleep. Okay. Go to sleep. All right, he's chilling. So as long as he's just vibing, I think he'll fall back asleep. But as long as he's vibing, we're good. But let's keep it moving, shall we? We gotta whisper. We gotta whisper. Good stuff. All right, let's get into it, huh? Let's do it right now. Again, it's probably going to be a shorter show, and that's fine. But let's get into the offensive side. Let's do offensive players of the week. We're just going to kind of push through today. So drop your offensive players of the week for the San Francisco 49ers. Who do you think is going to ball out against the Cowboys? Let's do offense first. I mean, we got a lot of options. Are we going to get a Brock Purdy masterclass? Are we going to get Deebo Samuel doing Deebo Samuel things again? We're going to get CMC after all the slander and wishing of injury on CMC. Is he going to ball out? Drop who you think. We're going to get a Kittle masterclass? We're going to get someone that we're not expecting, maybe like a Jawan Jennings, Brandon Ayuk, Elijah Mitchell. This is what the defense is looking like. We know Trayvon Diggs, very opportunistic cornerback. He likes to bite. And one of the positives with Brock Purdy is he can take advantage of aggressive players who are trying to bite on things. So it's going to be interesting to see what that matchup looks like. You got Malik Hooker, Jaron Curse. I do think will play. Um, Deron Bland, pretty bland. And of course, Micah Parsons. It's going to be very interesting to see how they line up Micah Parsons. If they're going to play him on the line of scrimmage or if they are going to play him off ball. It's going to be very interesting to see how that all works out. Um, also, of course, Leighton Vander Esch, Anthony Barr, Demarcus Lawrence up front, Jonathan Hankins. It's going to be interesting to see. But let's see. What do we got for offensive players of the game? Chili's calling for Kittle 2-touchdown game. We got another Greg, CMC, CMC. Ooh, we got a Brandon Ayuk. We got Mitchell, 150 yards, 1 touchdown. Drop your bold takes too. We got Debo. Save your defense. We're doing offense right now. CMC. We got BA, Debo, CMC, Ayuk. CMC and Kittle will eat. Debo gonna do Debo things. It feels like Debo's ramping up at the right time. It really does. It feels like Debo could absolutely explode. I mean, we it felt like what we saw against Seattle was a glimpse. Like I still feel like Debo could do more, and Debo still went crazy against Seattle. And so it's going to be interesting to see how they treat and who they key on the most, because literally any one of these guys could have a big day. Kittle, CMC, Debo, Ayuk, B, Mofo, A. So Brandon Ayuk. David says, I think Debo and CMC go off. BA, CMC. I hope Kittle gets his. Debo, McCaffrey, CMC, Debo, Ayuk. I feel a Kittle Skittle game. Do we get a Mitchell game? Christian McCaffrey, BA. Besides BCB, it's going to be a Debo game. Kittle, 150 yards to Debo, 3 touchdowns. That would be fantastic. BA. Barack, BA. Debo and CMC going to work their magic. Man, I'm so ready for this game. I'm so ready to go. I think this game is going to be an instant classic. It just feels like it, man. It just feels like both these teams want it. Both these teams are hungry. Again, you got a lot of Dallas talking about like last year because, of course, the San Francisco 49ers were the underdogs traveling to Dallas and beating Dallas on the road and knocking them out of the playoffs when they were the better team, I think. And so they've been talking about that. They're like, man, well, we took that motivation into the off season, and for it to come full circle, it just feels like this game is going to be get your popcorn ready. It's going to be a good one. Let's see. Ooh, Trent Williams game. I'll take that. Offensive MVP will be a defensive player. That's first. Debo, CMC. Don't sleep on Elijah Mitchell. They're all going off on Sunday. Ray might hit a couple long ones. Maybe. It really is a pick your poison type scenario, though, for sure. It's definitely pick your poison with this team, and that's a good thing, man. Mitchell, Ayuk, Kittle, they all going off. BA type game without Dallas plays. They're worst against wide receiver twos. And you guys remember, Brandon Ayuk was cooking Trayvon Diggs last year. And if Jimmy could have hit Brandon Ayuk a couple times, Brandon Ayuk would have had a huge game. So I think it's going to be so interesting to see this matchup with Brock Purdy in. because I do think Brock Purdy really does bring this extra element to the table where I think Dallas thinks they're going to be ready for it. They talked about Brock Purdy's mobility, but they haven't seen it yet up close and personal. They don't know. Um, and there's a limited sample size on them, so I think it's going to be very interesting to see how they match up against Brock Purdy. Eli, let's see. Why is Brandon Ayuk not getting the attention he should be getting? I mean, that's the hope. Again, I think that's back to your pick your poison conversation, right? It's like so many guys could go off. So many could go off. Debo will be on fire. Appreciate the super chat. Uh, let's see. Big Brock. Jennings, third and Juwan. I feel like they're going to be looking to wear down Parsons, Kittle, and CMC. I hope so, man. I really do hope they take advantage of his aggressiveness, and I think they'll be able to figure it out. Tyshawn, Raekwon, Samuel, 100. Let's see. BA. Oh, boy. Spam in the chat. My mom was friends with Patrick Willis. That's awesome. All right, let's see. I hope Purdy, 5 touchdowns, 300 yards. Shut up the haters. Brock and Ayuk. Oh, the closer Mason. We get Mason touchdown. Kittle 100, 2 touchdowns. Ooh, big McGlinchey game loading. CMC 2 passing tutties. BA needs to smack out Parsons again. Oh, I think it's going to happen. I think they're absolutely going to antagonize this defense as much as they can. I don't know, I don't know if Dallas is ready for a team that can block like we block. Everyone blocks, and they better be ready for it. Debo. No one knows Purdy's ceiling yet. That's the thing is like, let's Purdy has had his moments the last couple games where he's working through the ebbs and flows. But if you get one of those games where it's Purdy like at 100, like when he was against the Bucks or when he was against the Dolphins, he could go crazy. And if the pass protection holds up and he does what he does, I think it's gonna be nice. Sleeper Danny Gray. Danny Gray just doesn't get on the field enough. Unfortunately. Juice, Brock runs it in. Let's see. Trying to catch up here. Chumba says, Brad, this feels like game of the year. It will be talked about for. Yeah, I agree 100%. I feel like we're walking into a crazy game. I just like this is going to be the most watched playoff game of this weekend. It might be up there with maybe most watch game of the year. Like this is going to be a crazy game, and this is going to be a game where like this is a legacy game. Like this is like the things that you dream of like as a kid. This is going to be a game. Like this is one for the ages, and I'm really excited for it, man. I think this is going to be and I do think there's going to be body blows on both sides. I do think that it's not going to just be a boat racing. I think there's going to be body blows on both sides, and it's just who executes the best, who just sticks to their plan the best, and of course, who mitigates the mistakes as much as possible. So I got a lot of your guys' offensive players of the game. I'm way behind, but I think I'm gonna catch up as much as I can. So, again, looking at this depth chart and trying to take advantage of mismatches and things like that. This is going to be an this is the crazy thing. It's like CMC matches up well against these linebackers. Yeah, Leighton Vander Esch, like I like Leighton Vander Esch. I think he's a quality linebacker, but I do think he could be taken advantage of in coverage. And if you're throwing linebackers and wide backs and CMC at him, um, I think you could really take advantage of the and Anthony Barr, he's been a good linebacker in this league. But he's on the tail end. So I think that's a spot where you start getting it. If you can run the football, I'm talking like 4 or 5 yard chunk runs every time with CMC and Mitchell, and you can get into that play action rhythm game, and then you start throwing right off the back of these linebackers. I feel like that's how you could do so much damage. Is you just if this O line is able to block it up, they're able to get 5, 6, 7 chunk yardage plays, a couple big busted runs, and then you start being able to hit the play action boot game. And you allow also one Brock Purdy to play within structure, but what we're seeing in kind of the play action game that makes Brock Purdy so special is he can create outside of structure of play action. And because it's play action, things break down even further because they're playing run first, then pass, and then it breaks down, and then they're playing like backyard football, and that's where Brock seems to thrive the most. So if I had to pick player of the game, man, I'm gonna have to pick Brock. I'm going Brock Purdy on this one. I think Brock is going to be the difference maker here. And I think, again, he just has to be a facilitator. He's just got to be able to distribute the football, get it to the open receiver, get it to the guys, and then we know the guys are going to do the work. But from what we've seen, Brock Purdy has been really solid at being able to distribute and create and do those types of things. So I'm looking for another big game. I'm looking for a minimum 3 touchdowns. Um, I'm looking for Brock to cook and be locked in, ready to go. At home, got the first playoff jitters out the way against Seattle. Has that playoff experience. Like he's got one game, like I don't think that should be taken for granted because people are like, okay, he's got one playoff game. Cool. What's the big deal? Trent Williams' first playoff game was last year against Dallas. And Trent Williams has been in the league for over a decade. So the fact that Brock Purdy already has one playoff win under his belt, he's played in a playoff atmosphere, he's played with that pressure of one and done. I think that will really calm him down this next game. And I think that's where we could really see Brock Purdy cook because I think he knows like now he knows like what it is. Again, not everyone gets to play in the playoffs in this league. It's not given. Again, the example is Trent Williams. His first playoff game was last year against the Cowboys. So I really do think that Brock getting that week one wild card win will benefit him immensely this game. And I really hope calm the nerves a little bit, especially with a matchup like this of this magnitude where it's Dallas Niners. You know what I'm saying? Like we got the Seahawks matchup out the way. Now he knows what the vibe is. He knows what the speed of the game is going to look like. So my guy's going to be Purdy this game. I got to go with Purdy. Got to rock with Dirty Purdy. And I think he continues to lead this team. Brock Purdy has been phenomenal. Um, I just can't say enough good things. I couldn't be more impressed with Brock Purdy. I couldn't be more impressed. How he's playing and it's wild that people try to discredit him and discount. And I came across this, like, of course, these stupid football commentators on TikTok where they're like, "Well, look at who he's played," and they just start reading off stats, and I'm just like, "Tell me you don't watch football without telling me you don't watch football." Like, for me, when, like, someone's like, "Oh, this is why this person's not good," and then they go straight to a stat, and I'm like, "Oh, okay. You're someone who looks at a Excel spreadsheet and then determines if a player is good or not off their like completion percentage or something." Like, watch watch the game. You have two eyeballs. Just watch it. It's all you need to do. Oh, well, his QBR rating. So shut up, man. Can't stand it. Can't stand it. All right, let's go. I think it was pretty even, to be honest. I don't think we really came out of. Why is my am I frozen? No, here we go. I don't think we really came out with like a clear cut winner for offensive player of the game. I think we had everyone represented. Uh, there was a lot of Debo, a lot of CMC, a lot of Kittle, a lot of Brandon Ayuk, a lot of Purdy, and a lot of people saying pick your poison, and I think that's really what it's up to with with the 49ers offense, man. But as we know, all of those guys are going to be able to thrive and exceed because Brock Purdy is distributing. So that's why I picked Brock. I think it could be anyone. I think it could be a Kittle day. I think it could be a BA day. I think it could be a Jawan Jennings day. It could be literally anyone. So but the constant is Brock Purdy. So I'm gonna rock with Brock for my offensive player of the game. Let's look at what the defense is matched up against here with the Dallas Cowboys. You have Dak Prescott, who had a really good game last week. But Dak Prescott is coming into this game leading the league in interceptions. Oh, he's leading the league in interceptions. And if I think if you can get pressure on Dak, that's how you kind of neutralize him a bit. And you kind of get him off his game, you get him off his spot, you get him out of rhythm. I think that's the biggest thing to get Dak off his game is you got to move him in that pocket. You got to pressure him. You got to squeeze the pocket. You got to get interior pressure. You got to really get after this guy. And I am looking forward to the San Francisco 49ers getting after Dak Prescott. I think Nick Bosa is in for a bounce back game. He did pretty well, all things considered. But I think he could get around the quarterback even more than he did last week. And you got a rookie that's going to be out there in Tyler Smith. So it is going to be very interesting to see how Nick Bosa does against Tyler Smith. Connor McGovern and Badaz are quality interior offensive linemen. Zach Martin is one of if he's probably the best interior offensive lineman in the league, or he definitely has been at one point, but he's up there with you can make the conversation that Zach Martin is one of the best guards in the league. And of course, Tyron Smith, who's playing right tackle this year. He used to be their left tackle. But they've had a lot of shifting on their offensive line, and I actually think that's going to bode well for them. I think that their ability, they had some injuries this last game. They had to make some shifts. They've done that a bunch this year, so I think they're going to be able to work through that pretty well. They have enough experience kind of shifting around. But as you can see, they don't have a lot of depth behind them. So if you can start to penetrate that offensive line, especially on the interior with Eric Armstead, Javon Kinlaw run stuffing, Charles Omenihu, Nick Bosa, Kevin Givens, Samson Ebukam, you start throwing the waves of defensive linemen at these guys, start wearing them down. I think that's where you got to take care of this offense because you don't want to allow CeeDee Lamb to just run free. CeeDee Lamb, I don't know if you guys know because I wasn't doing YouTube at the time. But we talk about the Jordan Mason hive, we talk about the Brian Burns hive, like we talk about the hives, like just players that I love and want the 49ers to draft or whatever. There once was a CeeDee Lamb hive. I wanted CeeDee Lamb so bad. Obviously, the San Francisco 49ers took Javon Kinlaw at 13, and then they traded back up to get Brandon Ayuk. But in that draft at 13, I was all in on CeeDee Lamb. And I still believe CeeDee Lamb is one of the top wide receivers in the NFL. So he's gonna get his. It's just you have to neutralize him as best as possible. And I think by doing that is you have to get Dak off a spot. And you got to really pressure Dak Prescott as much as possible. CeeDee Lamb is a really good wide receiver. Noah Brown is like the Kirkland brand CeeDee Lamb. He looks like CeeDee Lamb. He's built like CeeDee Lamb. He's not quite CeeDee Lamb, but they look very similar in stature and build and play style. Michael Gallup is a pretty quality wide receiver as well, and they've added T.Y. Hilton, who's got some speed. He's definitely not who he once was, but T.Y. Hilton does exist, and he's made some plays for them. So it's going to be interesting, but got to stop Tony Pollard. I think this 49ers defense matches up really well against Zeke. I think Zeke is more of your in between the tackles. I don't think Zeke is who he once was. I still think he can do damage, but I do think Tony Pollard is the better back. And he's the more explosive, shiftier back that you got to be more careful of. I think Zeke is someone that the 49ers can manage well. We know the 49ers defense is really good against the run. And so if they make them one-dimensional, and by making them one-dimensional, they can then get after the passer, really does feel like the recipe for success is neutralize their run game, of course, and then force them in third and longs, second and longs, and then get after the passer. And if they can do that consistently with back-end coverage, the 49ers should be able to take care of business. But easier said than done, right? Like, obviously, all things considered, anyone should want to do that to their opposing offenses that they're playing against. But you got to take it one step at a time. And, Dalton Schultz is going to be an interesting matchup at the tight end position. He's really come on strong in the playoffs. He's been a big red zone target for them. It's going to be interesting if we see any Jimmy Ward on Dalton Schultz. I know Jimmy Ward loves guarding tight ends, so maybe that's a person that you put on Dalton Schultz to try to neutralize him in coverage. Because, I mean, you ask Jimmy Ward, he's going to tell you, I'm going to clamp up any tight end you put in front of me. So maybe that's a matchup where if you can get Jimmy Ward on Schultz in coverage opposed to Greenlaw or Al-Shaair or Fred Warner, maybe that's how you try to attack that. But big game for Diamador, big game for Charvarius, big game for Tashawn Gibson, and a big game for Talanoa Hufanga. Of course, it's a big game for everyone involved, but I think our defense is going to do what it does. They're going to stuff the run. I think they're going to really, I'm feeling like, maybe 75 yards rushing on the ground for the Cowboys. And if they can make them one-dimensional, I think that will fit better into what the 49ers want to do. So, you know, it's gonna be it's one of these games where this offense has the potential to explode. They have the potential to really beat you in a multitude of different ways. So you got to be on your P's and Q's, man. Like you got to force them into situational type ball. You really got to stop them on first downs. You really got to get them into their like deep into their plays early and start really getting them feeling uncomfortable and down and distance and stacking those types of plays, getting off the field on third down. If the 49ers can do that, if they can, every time they get this offense in a third down situation and they can get off the field, that is going to be the biggest asset for them. And it's also going to keep them fresh and give more, of course, opportunities for the offense. So this is going to be I don't think one side is going to win this game. I don't think the defense is going to win it for the Niners. I don't think the offense is going to win it for the Niners. I don't think special teams is going to win it for the Niners. I really do think it's all three phases. This is an all hands on deck approach. I know we feel confident. We're going to get into our score predictions in a second after we do defensive player of the game, and I know we feel confident, but it's playoffs, man. Anything goes. Anything can happen. So it's going to take all three phases. I think this is going to be a dog fight. One of the biggest, craziest ones we've seen in a long time. So it's going to be interesting to see what the score predictions are. Don't drop those just yet. Let's drop our defensive player of the game. So drop in the chat who you think the defensive player of the game against the Cowboys is going to be. Are we going to get a Bosa masterclass? We haven't got a Bosa sack in a while. Maybe we get Bosa. Is Charles Omenihu going to ball out against his former hometown team? You guys remember Nick Bosa actually left the wild card game last year with an injury, and it was Charles Omenihu who stepped up. So is it going to be Omenihu? Or are we going to get like someone like a Samson Ebukam, an Eric Armstead? It's going to be one of the linebackers, Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw, Azeez Al-Shaair. Again, we talked about Dalton Schultz being a potentially plus matchup for the Cowboys. Is it going to be Jimmy Ward who steps up, or one of the safeties, Tashawn Gibson or Talanoa Hufanga? Is it going to be Charvarius Ward versus CeeDee Lamb? Is it going to be Deommodore Lenoir again getting targeted a whole bunch and having to really step up his game like he did against Seattle? There's a lot of options here. And this is a defense that can really spread the ball, or this is an offense that really can spread the ball around in a bunch of different ways. So it's almost that time. All right, let's see what we got in the chat. First one from Jesus, we got Mooney Ward, player of the game. Brandy is calling for Bosa. Joshua calling for Fred. Lauren calling for Bosa. We got another Fred. We got another Bosa. Ooh, we got a Lenoir player of the game. I like that one. Arizona Armstead. That's a first. It's a new nickname. Bosa with 3 sacks. Alberto's calling for Bosa. Brunil says Mooney Ward redemption for last week. And the redemption is, giving up the I'm assuming the long touchdown to DK Metcalf. But he did bounce back in that game really well, actually. Gibson, the linebackers, Fred and Greenlaw. See, this is going to be the interesting thing. Is Drake Jackson going to be active? Drake Jackson has been deactivated the last couple weeks. So that's going to be interesting. Do we see a Drake Jackson appearance? Eric, Dre Greenlaw. Bosa going to solidify that defensive player of the year. 2 sacks, pressure, Dak all game. Hendrick says, I like Omenihu to wreak havoc. We've been calling for a Fred Warner pick 6 for like 10 weeks. Maybe we get it. I think it's Charlene who's been calling for the Fred Warner pick six for weeks now. Big Des calling Huff. Sharon says Bosa. Ooh, I like this one. This is a sneaky one. T.Y. McGill. Joshua wants Drake. Charlene wants Mooney Ward, bounce back game. Christy wants Huff. Fred Warner, Greenlaw. Bubba says Bosa with 3 sacks. Your draft crush was Abe Lucas. Great minds think alike. Aziz Al-Shair. Like that one. Bosa going to bounce back big time with 2 sackaroonies. Bosa over Parsons. Big play Dre. Fred Warner. Bosa never goes back-to-back games. Sackless. I agree. We'll see. That's offense. Gibson, the front 4. I like it. In the trenches. Trench work. Nicholas says Nick Bosa. Greenlaw, Bosa sack. Hufanga interception. Bosa, Drake Jackson, baby, rookie showing up in his playoff breakout. I hope they play him, man. But, it's going to be interesting if they want more run support. And I think that's why Drake Jackson hasn't been playing, is because they're looking for more run support. Drake Jackson is more of like a third down specialist, I think, right now. He's more of like a third down interior rusher opposed to being a, run stuffer. And, if it's based down, they're running out Javon Kinlaw. They're running out Eric Bosa, maybe Omenahue out there. So I think Drake hasn't been playing just because it's been a very specialized role for him. Omenahue 2 sacks, Gibson 1 interception. I believe you called Omenahue defensive player of the game last week, and Omenahue came up huge against Seattle. So good call by my guy. We also got big play Dre from Matt. Entire D line. Bosa. Gibson, 2 interceptions. Funga. Hubanga. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? But I think my co-host went back to sleep, so we're good. I think, yeah, he's definitely asleep. Definitely asleep, so that's good. Warner, big sack on deck. Let's see. Lenore is done getting picked on. I like that. Armstead controls the line. The linebackers, Bosa, D'Amico. Oh, there you go. Huff. Dre, big hit on deck. Bosa, 2 sacks. Tufunga. We get a pick 6. Omenahue, aka playoff Chuck. Bosa, defensive player of the game. Denise says Brock rocks. She ain't lying. Huff really needs to step up this game. We could use a big Huff game. I feel like we haven't had a big Huff game in like a more than a couple months. Could use a big Huff game. I like this one. Don't sleep on Willis. Willis seems to show up in the most crucial times because he is a situational player. And so they put him in very situational moments, and he always seems to step up. Jose says, I need Willis to act out. Chris says, Purdy on O, Bosa on D, Gray on special teams. Interesting. Let's see. Trying to catch up here. We got a Greenlaw. Drake. Drake, that man stole my entire flow, word for word, bar for bar. I know a couple people like that. Bosa is gonna rack Dak. Nice. Let's see. Should be catching up. Is my audio jacked up? Mic check. Mic check 1 2 audio. Is the audio jacked? Test test 1 2. We good? We gooch? All right, we good. All right, I'll do my defensive player of the game. You guys pick some good ones. This is a tough one, man. This is a tough one. I want to say Bosa, but who could ball out this game? Not gonna lie, I like the Lenore calls because I do think Lenore will get a lot of action. That one's not bad. I picked Hufunga last week. He had a better game last week, but I don't think he was player of the game last week. Gip, I like Gip a lot. Gip has been such a great addition to this defense. Man, I've picked Omenihu a lot this year. I'm not gonna lie. I've picked like Omenihu probably like 3 or 4 times to be my player of the game. So I kind of want to go there, but I also want to go somewhere else because I picked him so many times. So kind of feeling maybe like an Eric Armstead game. Feeling a little bit of Eric Armstead game, but also feeling like a Fred Warner game. Fun fact, I didn't know Fred Warner was a Dallas Cowboys fan growing up. So maybe he channels some of that. I don't know if I pick Fred this year. I'm going to pick Fred. That's where I'm going. After all that, I'm going to pick Fred Warner because I think we are going to need Fred Warner in multiple areas. We're going to need him to be a run stuffer. We're going to need him in coverage in the middle of the field. I know we've been calling it all year, or at least the chat's been calling for it. I'm going to call for it right now. Fred Warner pick 6. I'm going to call it. I'm going to officially put my stamp on it. Okay, my mic keeps muting because I actually keep hitting it with my phone. Fred Warner is going to be my defensive player of the game, and I'm calling pick 6. Pick 6 on Dak. That's where I'm going. So defensive player of the game. Gonna be a good one, man. Going to be a good one. Can't wait. But it is it's our time now. So I think this is going to be one of the more interesting score predictions from this chat that we've done all year. What's good, Niner Sickness Podcast? What's good, my boy? I think this is going to be an interesting one. So let's set the stage. Swipe it clean. Everyone get ready. Start thinking of your score predictions and now flood the chat with your score predictions. San Francisco 49ers versus the Dallas Cowboys. Is it a blowout? Is it a cakewalk? Is it a dogfight? Is it going to come down to the wire? Are we going to get some, reverse juju? Some people picking Dallas to win just to even it out a little bit. I'm interested to see how you guys are feeling about this one. Remember, this is playoff football. This is a different speed. It's a different brand. Both teams are going to be up and ready to go. So drop your score predictions of what you think it is going to be in the chat. I'm really interested to see if you guys think this is going to be a close game or if this is going to be a blowout. So I'm going to start at the top and then we'll work our way down to the bottom. All right. So our very first one that we got, Matt was ready. He was locked and loaded. And I think this is a good one. This is a good one to start off right off the bat. San Francisco 31, Dallas 24. That's the kind of game that I personally feel like it's going to be. I feel like it's going to be one of those. It's going to be one of those anxiety games. That's what it's going to feel like. Tyler says 38-17 Niners. Oh, we're going for the blowout, huh? 41-13. 35-31. 31-17, 34-10, 24-17. Jesus with his mandatory just win. We got to keep the streak rolling. Martin says 27-13. Russell's saying 41, Dallas 24. So far we're pretty even with close scores and blowout scores. Niners win 28-24. 38-14, 38-24. Like these last three, like I'd consider those blowouts. 41-24, 34-14. These are blowouts. This is the craziest score I think we've ever seen. 78-63. 47-17, blowout. 45-24, blowout. 49ers 27-24, dogfight. 21 skunk. Sheesh, you guys are confident. 31-24, dogfight. 28-27, manageable. This is crazy. 77-14. What are we doing? Niners 35-25. Definitely seems more in the range of outcome, in my opinion. Christie's going for the blowout. 41-17. Niners sickness 35-27. Definitely feels like a dogfight. 30-14, 41-31. I'd still consider that a dogfight. 37-24. I consider that more a blowout. 34-17. I mean, we're talking playoffs, so I consider that anything that's past two scores in a playoff game feels like a blowout. 27-17. It's only 10-point margin. Dogfight. Blowout. 35-21. 45-13. Blowout. 31-24. Dogfight. Really? 40-3? Are we that confident? We're that confident. You guys are. I'm confident. I think the 49ers are going to win, but I think this is going to be. We're going to lose some years off our lifespan from the stress of this game. 38-17. Bro, your score just keeps going up. 38-10. Neil says 31-20. Defense or special team scores one of those touchdowns. That aligns with my Fred Warner pick six. D-Buck says 35-31 Niners. William says 35-17. Brian says dogfight. Winner wins on last possession. Billy says dogfight. Bebop says 40-9. Money Mark says 24-21. Robbie does it again. Oh, so Robbie's getting the game winner, huh? 28-27. Niners on a missed extra point. Wow. 38-17, 49-0, 41-13. You guys are confident, man. I respect the confidence. Cheyenne says 29-13 Niners, and your daughter Tatum says 32-17 Niners win. Both good scores. Oregon Ducks for life says, "Damn, these blowouts, man." Here we go. We got some balance. Okay, thank you. We need some balance after all those blowouts. Uh we needed some balance here. So we got Dallas 55, Niners 0. And then right after that, Brian says Cowboys win 16-13. I don't envision this being a low scoring game, but I do appreciate the balance that you brought to the chat. 30-7, 49, just keeps getting bigger. 93-76. 49-20, 39, 34-9, 27-13, 31-20. I'm surprised, guys. I'm surprised. I'm not surprised by the confidence. I'm just surprised that these are, I would say, like 75% are blowouts. 40-7 at halftime, 38-29ers. Uh, let's see. 38-30, 49ers. Going to be a shootout with Cowboys choking on a crucial drive. There you go. 34-24, 28-13, 34-20, big Niners victory formation. Hi. Yeah, I'm on a live. Yeah, Walker's sleeping. What are you doing? You just hanging out? All right, I got a second co-host. We got a second co-host. So you could see we're on daddy duty today. Where are you? What? What? You want to go watch something with Reese? Okay. Are the 49ers going to win? Yeah. What's the score going to be? 48? 49ers going to have 48? How many are the Cowboys going to have? They're going to have a horsey? Yeah, good. That's a good score. So, score prediction from my guy over here, 49ers 48, Cowboys horsey. Makes sense. All right. You can go see Reese? Okay. So, I think that might be the best score prediction that we've ever had. No, other door. Other door. Yeah, there you go. I mean, this is probably the most accurate score prediction in the history of score predictions. 49ers 48, Cowboys horsey. So, there you have it. I don't even think I need to give my score prediction because my co-host just did it for me. I mean, how do I top that? How do 48 to the horsies? I mean, come on, man. And I told you it's a wild day. It's a wild day. I got the whole gang. At least my first original co-host fell back asleep, so he's asleep. Stayed asleep. Um, second co-host just woke up from a nap, so that means it's my cue to probably get out of here. And I don't know why my mic. But we made it. We made it all the way through. So I think it's time. Little one stayed asleep. My other one just woke up from the nap. We made it. Good job. Good job, team. Good job. I know. I keep putting my phone on the cord and it keeps cutting off the mic. So hopefully you guys can hear me now. But yeah, apparently I can't touch the cord or else it's gonna disconnect my mic. Um well, I do think the 48 uh to Horsey is a phenomenal score prediction. To be honest, I didn't even know he knew the number 48, so that's kind of a surprise to me. So that's a pretty good one. I think he's more in line uh with the score prediction than some of some of the blowouts that we had called out. No, okay, I'm gonna give my score prediction, then we'll get out of here. Um, if I had to give my score prediction, yeah, drop the spam the horse emoji in the chat. 48 the horsey. If I had to give my score prediction, it would be close to that. I'm feeling like a 34. I'm feeling like 34 to 31. That's the type of game that I'm feeling like. I'm feeling like a 34 to 31. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. There's going to be a lot of horsies running around. Um, I do think it's gonna come down to the wire. I really do. Um, oh, what a way to end the show! What a way to end the show. You love to see it. Shout out the horsies. Oh, good stuff. Appreciate you guys as always. All that good stuff. He says I'm making a t-shirt, 48 the horsey. We officially have a new inside joke on the show. All that good stuff. Perfect timing to grab your cookies on the way out. Shout out to everyone who's vibing with us. Uh, oh, that's right. I dropped some merch today. You guys want some merch? I dropped my F Dallas merch. How dare I almost forget that. So if you guys want to get some F Dallas merch, a lot of people asked for it. So I recreated the infamous F Dallas uh, logo. So now we have F Dallas merch. So if you guys want to get your merch, we now have F Dallas merch, as you can see. Let me drop the link in the bio if you guys want to get your F Dallas merch, because why wouldn't you? These came out pretty clean too. And I'll show you what the old ones looked like for reference so you can see how we recreated them. I'm going to drop the link in the chat. So if you want to get your F Dallas shirts, that will be in the link that I just dropped. These were the originals. These ones right here. So these were the throwback F Dallas shirts from the 90s. So we took the same concept and we recreated it. We added the Texas with the Dallas star and of course F Dallas. We got hoodies. We've got women's shirts, men's shirts, sweatshirts, stickers, whatever. So you can find all of that in the link. Again, we got our F Dallas merch because we don't like those boys. I'll have to check this out. I did not listen to the morning roast, so I'll have to listen to them and see how they destroyed them. Okay, good. I'm gonna have to listen to that. I'm going to have to listen to that. All right. So you guys know the vibes. Grab your cookies on the way out. On your way out to grab a cookie, grab a F Dallas shirt for the cause. Again, you can get, and there's also Brock Purdy merch in there as well if you want to grab a BCB merch and all that good stuff. So get your cookies on the way out, get your F Dallas merch, all that good stuff, because we hate these boys. We really, really hate these boys. Appreciate everyone as always for tapping in. If you're new to the channel, make sure you sub. Let us know if you subbed and you're new to the channel. We will welcome you into the Sourdough Squad. And of course, shout out to all you guys as always for vibing with this channel. We're gonna be at the game. We're gonna be posting clips. We're gonna be doing all that good stuff, giving our analysis, breakdowns, everything. So appreciate you all. And again, if you haven't already, smash that like button. We move. Appreciate you guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. Still taking Saturday off. And we will do all our normal game day content on Sunday. Let's go. 3:30 p.m. kickoff time, Pacific Standard Time. So we're going to have some time to get ready for this game. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a phenomenal one. And I'm looking forward to it. Appreciate all you guys. I'm out of here for now. Back to daddy duty. Peace. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see it.